This is the most disliked place on the ground. There's a desert that from human life is almost empty but still one here. Great engineering sample being made, which is not less than a wonder in itself. The sea in the middle of Chile's Atacama Desert, 10,000 feet high on the top of the mountain. World's largest telescope. Construction work is going on Leaning Tower. This telescope elevated at 40 even from off Pisa. If it is complete, then it is far from our universe. Draft planet compared to our eyes. I can see 5,200 times more closely. These images are also from the Hubble Space Telescope. There will be 15 times sharper but land. The world's largest in the driest place. Creating a telescope is no less than a miracle. After Atacama Desert, Antarctica, the world is a dry area where something is. Parts are found where in history it did not drop rain even once. The universe goes back in telescope time. How the first galaxy, stars, and planet will be able to see other planets, meaning this telescope scientist finding what can help and above. Scientists and construction team to Atacama, a football field in the heights of desert. During the construction of Big Doom, what difficulty faced? Once again in South America Pacific, this is spread over 1,000 kilometers on the ocean front. Chile's Atacama Desert of Antarctica. After this, it became the world's happiest place. Such unique colors of nature are considered here. We are probably seen for the first time. Volcanoes are found here with a lot of workouts. Apart from this, Death Valley filled with salt. Thousands of square kilometers spread, and found such a series of fog, who goes unique all over the world. One thing that is most important in life, there is no water in the Atacama Desert. The landscape is such that rains here do not even have some areas like this, who also shared a drop in history, did not see all this beauty without seeing Atacama Desert of an alien planet. The scene presents, and perhaps for this reason, European Space Agency, its Mars rover. Chile's testing was also done here, 1,300 kilometers from the capital Santiago, and Sanari is 130 kilometers distance from a close city. On this mountain 10,000 feet high from the surface, it is known. The minor project is Jerry Tamir, humanity of another world in space. Europeans will have a chance to see the scene. Observatory, also known as this, creating a huge telescope on the spot, which is an extrarenal large telescope, or then ET is named in short. Although its construction is still complete, did not happen but to guess this by looking at it. It will not be difficult why this name has been given a lot in this telescope. A large mirror, i.e. a mirror, will be installed. Diameter not only 39 meters big, but also from the biggest telescope so far. This mirror will be shocking. 10 million times more light than the human eye can deposit, but the condition is that above it, avoid not even a single gyro of soil. For the telescope of very big steel, the dome will be covered with almost no weight. Almost weighs as much as 2,400 pickup trucks. 6,000 tons of two very large doors on this dome. It will be installed and will be closed during the day. The dome is so high that the statue off inside it, Liberty, can also stand and spread. If we talk a whole football inside it, field can also be made under it. The high-tech platform has been installed, able to rotate the telescope 360 degrees. Makes any of the sky at night. It is easy to think that it is easy to think is that in this deserted area of the world where no population around miles away, construction team by this complicated project, how to start especially where there were no roads, electricity, or water, and construction from above, also on the top of the mountain. For this project, Europe first of Europe. I inspected many places, but finally, this location of South America had to choose a government in Europe. There is a jaundice in which 16 country members, project heads of the people present, say, to select this place for ET, there's a lot of vaju behind this first. That they need such a place for a telescope was where there was no city far and wide. The region is the light pollution. You must have seen that. Lights in cities, often even during the night. It is, and if there is a cloud, then it is also clear. Thousands of lights are seen, years away from the light of a star. There is a lot of which is from the telescope, can spoil the generated image. But many such locations like this Europe itself. If I am present in the mountains, then south. Why should this location of America chose? Save Gaia ET just light pollution. It is not enough to have a very clean sky. Most of the tropicals are important in Europe. The weather remains due to which often here. There are clouds, but Atacama Desert is because one of the dry pieces of the world. It is only then 320 out of 365 days of the year here. Days are not clouds that are far away. Galaxy is very important to see. In 2010, the team at Muktalif Place tested and finally Ekma Desert. This location looked the best at 3,000 meters. The elevated mountain called Siro-Iman. The issue was that it was like other mountains. There were a lot of mountains, that is, someone on it. In this condition, doing type of construction, it will not be possible to reach the top of this mountain. The bigger the 7 football fields are cut. Imagine it was very important to straighten the area. Do that 3,000 meters high mountain, and it is to build a very big ground over it. Do a lot of work with the help of X waters. It was difficult and dangerous. Also 2014. Construction team explore. Got help on the top of the mountain. The hole was explicated and remote. He was torn through the controller, 100 meters above the mountain in the process. The part was blown out of 47 locks. Cubic meter soil was present in so much. There was more soil. 1911 swimming pools filled with Olympic size can go to soil and more stone removal. After the upper part was straightened and also made a way to reach the top. Gone, but it was just the beginning of the mountain. A straight ground as 7 football fields above. So it was made, but also a very big issue. An issue emerged because of the emerging. The LTC engineering team saw that. Sinkholes become at the top of the mountain. They are filling them again, but some. After the time, many spots themselves. Going to put this ET foundation. The biggest issue to stand in was real. The top of the mountain by putting explosives in. He was blown up the core of the mountain. There was a lot of damage to the stones. Cracks fell in soil from place to place. Started collapsing after every few months. Stones would move and then new sinks. Hollis would like to deal with this issue. Engineers have many drills on this ground. Artificial with the help of vibration. Stabilize the ground. So that is many sinks. Hulls are to be made. They should be made at one time. The final vibration method worked, and by filling the sinkholes once again, the top of the mountain was plated from this. Next 5 to complete the entire process. It took years, and now the next Marhala was ET. This is a minor foundation to put a foundation. This was not going to happen with AKMA Desert. Part is psychoactive region where earth leaks are very common, meaning of expensive parts of the telescope quake. To protect the foundation, to protect the top dome. Many between the foundation and the dome are kept separate from. Hydraulic shock absorbers have been installed, which is the shaking of the earthquake to the metal dome and does not reach the telescope mirror inside him. Foundation work in 2023. It happened, and now it was a wonderful telescope. Dome, steel structure different. In the base camp under the mountain in parts. He was made than these parts. These remotes deliver the top of the mountain. Control trucks were U-switch. One by one the peak of the mountain to the steel frame. Used to reach up after reaching up. To deliver this light to M2 and then M4, M4 an image will go up to more sharp. We'll make and take on the dome for this work. Powerful laser beams will be used. These lasers usually set on such a wavelength, sodium in 90 kilometer sky, excite the atoms so that she starts shining in an artificial star. Telescope becomes this artificial. Stars as a reference point, uses it in real time, can be detected how the atmosphere are, destroying the lights or staining. When the distortion of the atmosphere, if you find out, then easily telescope, eliminating the blurred pan and image of. This entire process is adopted. Optics says the blur of the image from M4. After finishing, it goes to the light M5. And processing by fixing the image here, the telescope is sent for. There is a lot of great working. The biggest question here is that EATM telescope will be our solar, directive edge planet outside the system. The planet will be able to take photographs. Life is expected to be expected at the moment. In exotic, we may know this through graph. How is the atmosphere on those planets? And atmosphere will know that water there, whether or not carbon dioxide, or there is no oxygen or any such thing. That ET is creating pollution like meaning. Due to such a big mirror, more lights will be deposited, and through this we see also in the early days of the universe. Can you know if you do not know? Let us tell you that there is a fixed speed of light, and it does not travel faster than that. We can take advantage of this thing. See also easily in the past of the universe. Can have a straightforward exam. The first ray of our sun when sunrise daily. If it happens, we really to the sun's past. Seeing sunlight, about 8 minutes to reach the world. Hubble Space Telescope universe applies. I can also see 1,340 million years behind. That is, its mirror is also captured by those slow light, which does 1,340 million years in the universe. Earlier left, and today she has reached Hubble. Against this 39 meters of ET's big mirror, 10 million years behind the Hubble telescope. It is capable of watching the light, i.e. 1350, crore light years away from scientists, from the Big Bang from which our universe. It was made 1,380 million years ago. This means that the ET universe, 30 million years after birth, you can capture you to know here too. It is important that ET is of course quite big, but this is just a telescope on the neon. The largest in the radio will be. The telescope contains a very large dish. As golden eye is in the mirror instead of the mirror, pass through telescope radio waves, see in and then computerized. His picture is made through a process, but ET to see directly. World's largest telescope. It is to be talked about. 160 crores on ET's amazing ET. The cost of dollars has been estimated. 13600 crores is almost the same cost. As much as the world's tallest building turret. Experts engaged in making Calipha. According to ET's construction in 2029, will be complete after being fully prepared. Perhaps this could answer the biggest question that, are we really alone in this universe? Or thousands of light years away meanings? Life is also expected on a planet. This video is also full of you. Like and share you guys love. Thank you very much. In the next magnificent video, these panic structures among themselves. Reaching this part of the Atacama Desert, roads network to a large extent first, was made 20 kilometers from the ET side. A second telescope far away is also present, which is a very large telescope, or if VLT is called then for ET, by extending the road network to Zero Edge, the world's most in the world. It is behind making a big telescope, mirror which is 39 meters big currently, to control the large mirror. The structure is being made inside in it itself. You guess how big it is from this worker, a ply which stands on top of the frame 39, a meter mirror total of 800 small pieces. The work is being made by mixing any light coming from space, multiply by secondary mirror M2.